The stock in focus today is Ixigo. The company came out with its earnings yesterday, and in terms of the overall numbers, it was a great quarter yet again for the company. Overall revenue was up 17 odd percent, EBITDA up 16 odd percent, margins have remained stable, and net profit was up 7 odd percent. The stock is seeing good moves, up by about 4 odd percent. To discuss as to how the quarter has gone by and how things are shaping up for the counter, we are joined by Aloke Bajpai, Group CEO of Ixigo, joining us now. Alok, welcome to NDTV Profit. Always a pleasure speaking with you. My first question to you is as to how things have fared out for Ixigo overall in FY25 and the kind of momentum that you have seen. Do you think that this is sustainable going ahead in FY26 as well?
Well, you have to see where this momentum is coming from, right? Like if you look at Ixigo's journey, right, we started out by focusing on the next billion users, which is essentially people coming from tier 2, 3 towns or the aspiring middle class of India, where rail and bus are very strong use cases, and we are seeing a trend of premiumization of people moving from taking a bus or a rail to actually taking a flight. So if you look at our growth, large part of it for last quarter came from how our flight and bus business have grown. On the revenue line, flight business has grown at about 135%. Bus has grown about 103% year on year. And I think the acceleration just shows the power of the travel demand in the country coming from the middle class. And I think this trend is quite secular. So if you think about our GTV growth, it's been in the 40s on an annual basis. And I think, what we'll do is try to maintain that GTV growth in the 40s going forward.
All right, and speaking of which, Alok, the overall GTV was directly attributable to Mahakumbh as well, because that is something that has played out well in this quarter. But despite that, your GTV has grown around 50 odd percent if you remove that Mahakumbh growth. Just wanted to understand that for the next 2 quarters, let's say, where do you think the growth that this particular quarter has seen will be coming from? What are the events that you're looking forward to, and what will be the levers that will probably augur the top line?
Well, as you rightly said, right, like Mahakumbh is just a small contributor to Q4. In that sense, it was just single-digit percentage of GTV. And I think the underlying growth, if you look at our MAU growth or if you look at our monthly transacting user growth, I think that's a better proxy of how the underlying growth in the business looks like. What we are confident of is that we are on this trajectory where there's a large unmonetized user base that's very sticky with us already, and we just need to convert more and more of these customers into buying tickets with us, as well as buying value-added services such as travel guarantee, which we launched recently, which allows you to get if you don't have a confirmed seat, we upgrade you into bus or flight at a discount, and you could even buy the next train ticket at a discount if your waitlist doesn't confirm. And I think those kind of products have really expanded the TAM for us. So we will continue going down that path of using technology and AI for TAM expansion of our existing user base and try to grow our monthly transacting users over the next few quarters. Like I said, I think sustaining a GTV growth in the 40s will be something that we aspire towards, right? Which again will be way faster than the overall market.
Alok, in terms of the travel guarantee feature that you mentioned, especially the 3x travel guarantee, just wanted to understand, because there are two sides of the same coin, right? One, of course, that is getting in a lot of traffic to Ixigo app because it's a very good feature. But do you also think that, if tickets don't get confirmed, it's a big, amount that will hit your P&L at some point of time? Just wanted to get a sense there as to how this feature is working out well for you.
Yeah. No, I think if you think about it, right, there's a large cohort of waitlisted train ticket customers every single day, which actually do not confirm on the last day, right? And if you're someone traveling for a purpose which you can't sort of defer for too long, then you will have to book an alternate mode of transport to get to that place, either another train the next day or a flight or a bus. And I think what this product does is essentially allows all the users to share that risk, right? In terms of saying, okay, I can pay a little bit more, and if the probability of confirmation is above a certain percentage, we show this product, right? So if there is, we are in a way saying that, look, if we are saying there's a high chance of confirmation, we are putting our money where the mouth is, because our algorithms are quite sort of primed for predicting that, right? And then if it actually does not confirm, we will give you the money. So it's a profitable product in that sense. The margin may be a shade lower than our overall train ticketing margin, which is why you see some slight margin compression on the train side of the business. But it's a product that is already sort of making money.
Understood. We also have Rajnish Kumar, Group Co-CEO of Ixigo, joining us now. Rajnish, a very good afternoon to you. I wanted your sense on how things are panning out from a competition perspective, because, for sure, train segment is something that you've aced, and, I don't see a tough competitor in terms of trains booking for Ixigo as of now. But in terms of bus segment as well as flight segments, you have a lot of players in the unlisted space, as well as are more established and have established their business before you did. Just wanted to get your sense of competition there, and what are the strategies in place to kind of overcome that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, even for trains, I would not say that we are complacent, and because we've got 58% market share, we'll just, not do anything about it. Like, we continue to innovate there as well. So our playbook remains the same. Like, we always have this approach of being extremely customer centric in whatever we do. So we keep finding those core customer problems. We keep listening to our customers intently. We always have our ears to the ground. And once we find those problems, it's not about really solving a problem. It's mostly about solving the right problem at the right time. And it's also about having the courage and vision to solve those problems. Sometimes these problems that we solve for customers, they don't have any immediate revenue or margin upside that we see, but we still go ahead and do that as a longer term investment, because that creates more customer stickiness, word of mouth, and then that is what helps us grow. So we really don't look at competition to see what we really want to do in the future. We rather look at customers and their problems and try to solve them. If you look at any of our products, see, the biggest problem that I see mostly in the OTA ecosystem, and this is global problem, is that most OTAs, they feel that the finish line is selling a ticket to the customer, whereas it's just the beginning of your journey with the customer, right? Because as soon as you book your flight ticket on Ixigo, you will see that you'll automatically start getting enrolled for automated trip management. And as soon as, your boarding pass is ready, you will see your boarding pass prepared, and it will get pushed inside your Apple Wallet if you use Apple, or Google Wallet if you use Google. Go to your WhatsApp. As soon as it's time to head to the airport, you'll start seeing notifications for which terminal to head to, which check-in counter to go to, what boarding gate your flight is departing, what kind of delays your flight has, or even track your flight completely offline inside the flight. And then when you reach the destination, you'll also know what kind of baggage, which baggage belt your baggage will arrive on. So we spend a lot of this time and resources to build these unique products and services which have nothing to do with the booking experience, but more about the overall experience that the customer has. And this is the reason why we are able to consistently innovate and grow organically without spending too much money on customer acquisition. The other reason why these sectors continue to grow for us is also because we have a large captive user base of 83 million monthly active users, and we have created an integrated ecosystem where we are able to now very seamlessly integrate these cross sell or upsell products, whether it is flights, buses, or hotels, into the trains journey as well, inside our app ecosystem, and even food lately, or even advertising for that matter. And this is the reason why we are able to constantly improve monetization from this large user base.
Got it. And Rajnish, any new product offerings that you're looking at to launch in FY26?
I can't make any forward-looking statements about what we are launching. All I can tell you is that we focus a lot on these value-added services that we have built over time. So as you can see, we built price log, travel guarantee in FY25. So expect to see more such value-added services coming from our side, and all of this will obviously be powered by data and AI. So as you can see, most of these products, the pricing of these products, the personalization of these products is completely powered by AI. So there's not a single human being involved in how we price these products and manage these products, right? And these products are optimized to optimize our P&L. So it keeps on improving as time progresses. As we keep doing more and more bookings, these products keep on becoming better and better with more data.
Alok, your quick view. I know I understand that you refrain from giving any forward-looking statements, but in terms of how the company has grown, 3 years compounded sales CAGR has been around 34 odd percent. PAT growth has been around 66 odd percent. FY25, overall revenue has crossed beyond that 900 crore mark. Just wanted to get your sense, in terms of how FY26 is shaping up. Will this kind of CAGR growth continue? Will it sustain, or will you be outpacing what you've already done earlier?
Well, so I'll give you a long answer and a short answer for it, but let's start with the short answer, right? If you look at our track record, right, we've been able to grow over the last 6 years. If you compare to pre-COVID versus where we are in FY25, I mean, more than 900 crores of revenue, like you said, and earlier it was 40 crores pre-COVID. So we've grown kind of 23 times of our pre-COVID scale. I'm not sure if any OTA in the world has actually done that. But the reason why we did it was a lot of the things that Rajnish was talking about, which is worrying a lot about the smallest of pain areas of customers and building products that may not monetize in the short term, but may monetize a lot in the long term. And I think that's the same playbook we'll continue applying for growth. All I can say is that FY25 growth has actually accelerated over FY24 growth, and we would like to continue thinking of ourselves that way. And the way that will happen is that as certain products mature and their growth slow down, there'll be new products that come in and sort of take their place in terms of driving that growth.
Rajesh, one last quick question to you, and I understand if you don't want to comment on this. Your view as to how things might impact Ixigo going ahead because of the entire tension between India and Turkey and Azerbaijan. It's completely your stance to not comment on this, but just wanted to get a sense, an outlook, not from a business perspective, but for an outlook, because cancellations might be taking place. Do you think that this might structurally impact the overall, companies that are working in the tourism space?
For us, the biggest priority was customers and their safety when this happened. And so we were looking at, in fact, we were more worried about the calls, the barrage of calls that we are getting about, rescheduling and cancellations, etc. So we took a call. We, created AI-enabled voice agents in order to solve those problems and to scale up our operations so that we could, service all our customers. We started refunding them instantly, etc. The call to obviously, not support certain countries from a travel standpoint was, obviously as a gesture to the nation and the feedback that we got from our customers, but also because of the safety of these passengers who would potentially be traveling to these areas which were impacted by this conflict. So, the impact on business as such was not that big a decision-making criteria for us, to be honest. We were more worried about the disruption it was causing for the customers, and we were taking actions to kind of support that.
Thank you for answering that, Rajesh. And Alok, one last quick question on the margins. Margins are at the highest level at present. Do you think that this is the sustainable range of margins, or do you see a further improvement?
If you're referring to our EBITDA margins, our adjusted EBITDA is now in double-digit percentage. We would love to maintain it that way and potentially grow it with some operating leverage over time. But we are not, like we had said even in the last quarter, like we are not in a hurry to sort of take that operating leverage to the bottom line. We would rather use some of it for growth, which is why you see marginal improvement, year on year. But we would love to continue driving growth at the levels that we talked about. So we would love for GTV growth to be continuing in the 40s year on year, right? And for doing that, whether it's through growth in other areas, new areas such as hotels or food delivery on trains, or just by converting more people to book their flight. I mean, one of the statistics I want to share with you is that half of the new bookers that come through our NBU apps or the train and bus apps, essentially are first time flyers, right? So we run surveys for these things, and we've discovered that there's a large new to market customer that we're creating. And, I think it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to, over the next 10 years, to bring a very large cohort of customers online to book the first flight of their life. And we are leading that change in that perspective. So I think that's the more exciting opportunity for us. But of course, not at the cost of margins. We would love to maintain these margins and grow them wherever we can.
Alok and Rajnish, thank you so much for answering those questions so candidly, and thank you so much for taking out the time and speaking with us at NDTV Profit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.